Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing? Yes, I'm live. I am live. I'm live. And I'm live without David because I'm just live to talk about the locus of control and about what is currently going on. I don't know if everybody has seen it. I don't know if people are aware of it. But Gargut is not a snitch. No, I don't know if you're aware of it, but Israel has just done the unthinkable and has unfortunately kidnapped innocent people who were just on a boat ride in international waters. How dare you? Yeah. So, for weeks now, there was this very fantastic freedom flotilla going on, led by Greta Thunberg and by a few other people, activists, to go to Israel, or by their understanding, to go to Gaza with a bunch of boats and to break the siege or break the blockade and deliver humanitarian aid. I'll just keep doing this, whatever I say, to Gaza, because there is a genocide going on, and the Israeli occupation is oppressing the people of Gaza and preventing aid from reaching the place of genocide by blockading and so on. Anyway, so today, as they were just a little bit off the shores of Gaza, Israel came out and intercepted them. In fact, it is going on live right now. I don't think there's much to see, but most of the boats have been intercepted. Some of the boats are still out there. In fact, let's do something very funny. They're live right now. Some of their cameras are live right now. Let's just look at that live. How about that? There's some annoying sound coming. Nobody's talking. The sound is delivered from all of them at the same time. But 3 ships, 3 boats, maybe more of them, I don't know, are still out there. In the sea. But most of them have been intercepted. They all look very sad. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. This is a live camera. Meanwhile, we have footage of Greta Thunberg being kidnapped. Let's have a look at that. Let me turn off this annoying sound here. Let's have a look at that. So Israeli Foreign Ministry published this video and said, already several vessels of the Hamas Samud Flotilla have been safely stopped. What they call it, Hamas Flotilla. The Hamas Samud Flotilla have been safely stopped and their passengers are being transferred to an Israeli port. Greta and her friends are safe and healthy. Greta and her friends. There's no sound here? What is this? I want to hear her cry. So this is what people call kidnapping now. They published this video, and now people are going crazy about this and saying, "Look, a woman has been kidnapped in international waters, which is completely illegal by Israel, which is a terrorist state." They're also using this narrative right now, that Israel intercepted them in international waters, which is it's a very horribly stupid. Oh yeah, I open my Twitter and look at a random post, and here, this Nina Ja says. Nina Ja says, we are literally witnessing a live-streamed mass kidnapping of 497 people from 46 countries by Israel in international waters. I just want to point out the hypocrisy and the scummy attitude that these people have when they say this. They're saying that Israel kidnapped these people in international waters. Because technically they were still in international waters when Israeli boats came out and intercepted them and led them toward the Israeli port. The thing is, everybody knows that they were not going to just stay in international waters. They were going to go into a war zone with those boats. That's what they were doing. That's literally what they were doing. This is basically like a bunch of people coming toward your house with the very clear and stated intention that they are going to break into your house, and you then go outside and and stop them from coming into your house and take them by force and place them somewhere else. And they then say, I was kidnapped outside of his home. I was kidnapped outside of this house where I'm free to do whatever I want to do. How could this happen? This is illegal. I was outside. I wasn't even in his house. This is basically the equivalent of that. These people are just such filthy liars. They came here to penetrate a war zone and to penetrate the borders, the secure borders of a sovereign country, and they were not allowed. Guess what? The same thing would happen if you, for example, tried to come by boat to the United States of America, right? There would be a patrol that would intercept you possibly, or check your papers, or if you somehow made it through without registering that you're coming through, you would be in trouble. You would be expected to share notice that you just arrived from somewhere else. But these people think they can just do whatever they want because they know better than anybody else. Because Israel is allegedly committing a genocide, and Gaza is a free country, apparently, and they can just go there and handle the situation for themselves and do whatever they want. I'm sorry, it doesn't work this way. The world doesn't work this way. Yes, Europe might work this way because in Europe we have this whole idea of open borders and all that, but it doesn't work that way in other places. I dare you to go and try to do this in Yemen. Please do this in Yemen. I challenge these Flotilla idiots to go and actually do this in Yemen. There are lots of people starving in Yemen right now, probably significantly more than in Gaza. Have a freedom flotilla and sail out to Yemen and go there and say, yeah, we are here to just, to deliver food and to just do whatever we want. Go and try that. Please go and try that. I dare you. Literally witnessing a live stream mass kidnapping and the shamelessness with these people. When we witnessed live streamed mass kidnappings on October 7th. And you know what people like these did on October 7th? They cheered. In fact, I have no idea who this is. Free Palestine. I'm just going to try something very simple right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to search her profile. Wait, when did she join? April 2020. Let's see. Advanced search. Let me see. I want to search her profile to find out what she tweeted on October 7th. Maybe she tweeted something good, we don't know. Maybe she was like, I condemn this brutal act by the terrorist organization Hamas. This is unacceptable. We should not do something like this. This is very, 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 very bad. Maybe that's what she posted. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. October, let's say 6, year 2023 to October 8, 2023. Let's see what I find here. Oh, this is funny. It looks like she didn't tweet anything at all. Apparently she wasn't worried about that at all. That's interesting. So apparently when a live kidnapping was happening of Israelis, she wasn't bothered at all by the terrorist organization. Yeah, she wasn't bothered at all. She didn't care, apparently. I don't know. That's funny. But now she's like, why is the world ignoring this and not waking up? Apparently she ignored October 7th, so there's your answer. These people are funny. Israel tweeted earlier also, the sole purpose of the Hamas flotilla is provocation. Israel, Italy, Greece, and the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem have all offered and continue to offer the flotilla a way to peacefully deliver any aid they might have to Gaza. The flotilla refused because they are not interested in aid but in provocation. The Israeli Navy has reached out to the Hamas Sumud flotilla and asked them to change course. Israel has informed the flotilla that it is approaching an active combat zone and violating a lawful naval blockade. Israel reiterated the offer to transfer any aid peacefully through safe channels to Gaza. This did indeed happen. Now, some people who like to complain about Christians in Gaza and all that, the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem is one of the primary Christian authorities in the region. They themselves reached out and said, don't do this. Give us whatever you have, and we will distribute it to the people. The flotilla refused. Many others offered the same thing. The flotilla refused because they are not interested in helping.
This is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone. If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels. Please change your course toward the port of Ashdod, where the aid will undergo a security inspection and then be transferred into the Gaza Strip.
Cool. But no, they didn't care. They ignored it. People. Oh, man. People. So, Greta has been kidnapped. And guess what's going to happen? Israel will relocate her to the port, and they will put her on a plane, deport her, and say, do not come back again. And they will probably give her a sandwich. And then she'll be like, I have been severely mistreated and genocided by Israel. Let's see, what did she say here? This was before she was intercepted.
My name is Greta Thunberg, and I'm currently on board the boat Alma as part of the global Flotilla, a peaceful humanitarian mission to deliver aid to the civilian population of Gaza and to break Israel's illegal and inhumane siege. And it is likely to believe that we will be intercepted tonight by Israel, which would be a blatant violation of humanitarian and maritime law. Israel is not immune to international law. They must be held accountable for their war crimes. Stop the genocide, stop the occupation, and free Palestine.
So, here's the thing. When I hear dumb stuff like this, I feel like I don't have any sympathy at all for what they're fighting for. Okay, supposedly fighting for. Hear this one. Listen to this one.
Hi, so we're currently getting circled by the IOF, and a few of our vessels have been intercepted. And so here on the Mohammed Bahar, we just want to say that when we get intercepted and we are held illegally in Israel and Ashdod port, we are going to engage in a hunger strike, and it's a symbolic act of resistance that we refuse to accept any of the food from an entity that is starving Palestinians, forcibly through the siege that we were here trying to break. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. So apparently they're going to be intercepted, and what they're doing as a response to that is, this is very unacceptable. To protest our interception and our arrest in Israel, we will engage in a hunger strike. Yeah, okay, fine. You do that. You do that as long as you can. Tomorrow they will be put on a plane and sent back to wherever they came from. And then they can continue their hunger strike. And if they actually do a hunger strike, they would be starving more than any people than the people in Gaza. You know. So then finally we will have starving people in this region. In fact, it is Yom Kippur right now. Yeah, that was the point of the tweet, wasn't it? Neoberg says the Clown Flotilla just announced a hunger strike in response to getting intercepted. All of Israel is fasting for Yom Kippur, so you are in great company and nobody cares. LOL. Yeah. So this is very, very good news for Jews. These guys apparently want to show solidarity and also fast with you on Yom Kippur. It's very, very nice. It's very nice of them. Very, very nice of them. Yeah. So here we have somebody complaining. Let's see. It is 2:50 a.m. local time. Israeli Navy trying to spray us with skunk water. Still in international waters. Save Gaza.
Every time I stand in front of these fucking closed doors.
Bunch of clowns, man. Seriously, bunch of clowns. These are a bunch of clowns. These are a bunch of clowns. Let's see. If there's any spraying done, it is probably to eliminate any threat. Now, here is what's also funny. As you can see here, so this is a video published directly under the name of the Global Sumud Flotilla. Pay attention to what Greta is wearing here. The necklace, the pendant that she's wearing on her necklace here is a flag, a map in the shape of the land Israel. She shouts "Free Palestine." She shouts "End the blockade." What she's actually wearing here is a direct advocacy for the removal of Israel and the establishment of this entity called Palestine, which only was invented after Israel came into existence. And now they're trying to claim that it was always there, and that is what it is supposed to be. So she goes out here and makes it about, opposing the blockade and free Palestine. What she means by free Palestine is actually destroy Israel and create this fake entity named Palestine instead. That's what she's about. That's what they are about. Remember, when October 7 happened, they already started claiming that a genocide is going on. Yes, a genocide was actually going on, and the genocide was the one that was committed against the Israelis by Hamas. There was no other genocide. They always claim that there is a genocide going on against the Palestinians because the existence of Israel itself is a genocide to these people. That's what it is. They want to oppose the existence of Israel and install their fake state of Palestine. That's what they want to do. That's what it is about. And then you have these, you have some mentally ill people here chiming in, a bunch of lunatics. Shut everything down. They're going to exterminate everyone left in Gaza. Their defense minister is boasting about it. The Red Crescent is leaving. Israel has kidnapped a flotilla of 500 people attempting to break the siege. Shut everything down. You are mentally ill. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. What else is going on? That's what's going on. That's all that is happening right now. Israel is intercepting all of them and sending them back per deportation. And what have they achieved as a result of this? Nothing. Nothing at all. They've achieved nothing at all. But I want to talk about one very important thing here. and I tweeted about this earlier, you can see repeatedly when the so-called Freedom Flotilla sails toward Gaza, they claim that they want to break an illegal blockade, an illegal siege. In fact, there was a video of one of those Spanish activists actually talking and saying, "We will break the siege that you established 18 years ago." 18 years ago. If I can find that quickly, let me see. That'll be very, very nice. Oh yeah, here it is. So here is a video showing that Israel actually nicely tells them that they should turn away, and yet they respond with pure stupidity. Thiago Avila on the flotilla responds to the IDF.
In an active war zone. If you continue and attempt to breach the naval blockade, we will stop your vessel and act to confiscate it through legal proceedings in court. You bear full responsibility for your actions. Say that we are entering an active war zone.
Did you hear that? So this was a very, very clear warning here. You are entering an active combat zone, and if you proceed, we will intercept and confiscate through legal means. You bear full responsibility. It's very clear, right?
In an active war zone. If you continue and attempt to breach the naval blockade, we will stop your vessel and act to confiscate it through legal proceedings in court. You bear full responsibility for your actions. Say that we are entering an active war zone. You're saying that we are entering a place where
He's Brazilian? Yeah, whatever he is. Okay. Some dumbass.
Committing war crimes. Bear full responsibility for your actions. Say that we are entering an active war zone. You're saying that we are entering a place where you're committing war crimes. This is against international law. Once again,
what a smart guy. He's repeating to her what she's saying. Okay, good. Thank you.
International Court of Justice.
The International Court of Justice has their own proceedings. You don't step in on behalf of the International Court of Justice. You don't step in on behalf of the International Criminal Court. You don't step in on behalf of the United Nations. You do not step in on anyone's behalf. These people are... This is the disease with social media, right? You have a bunch of idiots that are influencers. Let me see. That's all this guy is, isn't he? He's an activist. That's all he is. This guy here, look. Thiago Avila is a Brazilian humanitarian climate activist who gained international recognition as one of the participants aboard the June 2025 Gaza Freedom Flotilla. That's all he is. That's literally all he is. He is nothing else. He's an activist. An activist. An influencer who wants to take things in his own hands, who is also a communist, by the way. So a communist activist is here saying, oh no, you cannot ask us for... Well, first of all, nobody asked you. They ordered you to leave. Because this is Israel. Israel is in charge. This guy is an influencer, an activist, and actually thinks that he can go and carry out the proceedings of the International Criminal Court or the International Court of Justice and just go against what Israel says here in this region. You're a child. You don't matter. And you will be treated as one. And you will be sent back. That's all that's going to happen. Nothing is going to change. These people actually think they're doing something. Nothing is going to change. You can have 50 flotillas. You can have 5,000 people going there. They will all be intercepted and sent away, and nothing will change. Nobody will move one step away from what is happening right now. Because there is a terrorist organization here, Hamas, that is continuing the war, which they started. Israel is trying to end it. If you have a problem, go and tell Hamas to stop it. You dirty, dirty communist idiots.
Full responsibility for your actions.
Say that we are entering an active war zone. You're saying that we are entering a place where you're committing war crimes. This is against international law. Once again, the International Court of Justice made a provisional ruling that any attempt to hinder a humanitarian mission to Gaza is prohibited by international law and is complying with the request to make you accountable for the crime of genocide.
That's not how it works, bro. Yes, they actually did make such a ruling, but that doesn't mean that you can just go into an active war zone and can just deliver the aid. You're supposed to do that through proper channels, you absolute moron.
The International Criminal Court has your Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu under an arrest warrant for the crime of starving children and starving people to death using starvation and famine as a weapon of war. Therefore, it's our moral...
That's an allegation and not a conviction. In any case, you are not in charge, dummy.
Duty to continue sailing. It's our moral duty to refuse any attempt of an occupying force to control humanitarian aid for the Palestinian people in Gaza who have the right of their sovereignty, who have the right of their self-determination and to control their own borders. Therefore, we do not recognize you as a legitimate agent to control any...
I can bet that at this point, the IDF is not even listening anymore. This is such childish, stupid nonsense, really.
Attempt to bring aid to the Palestinian people in Gaza. We request you to stand down, to do not commit another war crime among so many that you've been committing, and to stand down. Do not engage with our peaceful, non-violent, humanitarian solidarity mission for the Palestinian people in Gaza. I advise you again.
What a bunch of retards. What a bunch of retards. So according to their own wish, they're supposed to be allowed to just sail to the coast of Gaza, to walk in there, right? To take their humanitarian aid. How much humanitarian aid can they possibly have on 50 ships? 50 boats, sorry, little boats. Enough for maybe one family? 2? 3? I don't know. Is there any information on that? How much are they actually carrying? Is it enough for 5 people? Is it enough for 5 people? I wonder. Does anybody know? They ate it all. Oh, man. Nobody knows. 400 pizzas and 20 crates of beer. Maybe 10 people. Okay, a pack of cigarettes. The cringe cruise. Dude, Israel is sending in every day and letting in hundreds of trucks that are full of food and supplies. These 50 boats probably don't carry aid that amounts to 10% of what those trucks deliver to Gaza. These bunch of clowns, according to their own mindset and their own claims here, they want to land in Gaza, they want to walk into Gaza, and they want to just distribute their crackers to 2 or 3 people, then happily walk out and leave again, or join the fight and proceed to the border of Israel. In what kind of fantasy world would they be doing anything that actually works? This is so ridiculously dumb. Any nation would have stopped them. Any nation would have intercepted them and turned them around. They're entering a war zone, a combat zone, an evacuation zone, where a terrorist organization operates and takes people as human shields, fires rockets at civilian populations. That's what they are doing there. And these people think, oh, I can just walk in there. You can't just walk in there. If you walk in there, you might die. And then you might blame that on Israel, which is why Israel would rather kick you out of there and not let you in. Any reasonable nation would do the same thing. However, let's talk about the very important thing here. I saw another clip of this guy, and he was mentioning, I don't know if he just mentioned it here. It's kind of annoying to listen to him. 18 years of blockade. So the blockade they're complaining about is this here. As you can see, this here is Gaza, here is Israel. Here is the Mediterranean Sea. This is the area which is open for use under normal circumstances. Right now, it is all shut down. This area can't be approached. There is a blockade for all international shipments and so on. That's what they call a blockade. These people complain about this. They complain about the blockade. They call it illegal. Here's the thing. Why was this blockade ever put in place? It was put in place nearly 20 years ago, around the year 2007, 2008, 2009, where it was solidified. Because Israel left Gaza, Israel went out of Gaza and left Gaza to be governed by the so-called Palestinians. The so-called Palestinians, as soon as they took control over this territory, held an election and elected Hamas, the Islamist terrorist organization, as their leaders. That's what they did. They elected an Islamist terrorist organization as their leader. Hamas took control of this region, and Hamas made it very, very clear that their goal is to eradicate Israel, to reject any peace approach, to renounce and denounce and reject any kind of peace process that was held in the past with the other Palestinian authorities. Vowed that they accept nothing else but a complete conquest of Israel and to make all of it Palestine. And also, by the way, to establish a caliphate, to re-establish the caliphate. And they said that they will use any means necessary, including suicide bombings, mass shootings, stabbings, firebombs, and so on, in order to achieve this goal. As a result of which, Israel said, okay, under these circumstances, we will blockade you, and you will not receive anything from anybody, because we can't allow a hostile force that wants to eradicate us to foster here until you come to your senses and until Hamas is gone and somebody else comes in their place. A blockade will be in place. That's what Israel did. Any reasonable nation, any proper, healthy nation would have done the same thing. Really, any nation would have done the same thing. They did the right thing. So this blockade was put in place because the place is run by Islamic terrorists. That's it. And this is what these Freedom Flotilla people are calling an illegal blockade. Who are they actually helping here? Who are they working for? They're working for an Islamic terrorist organization, Hamas. That's what they're doing. They're fighting a legitimate nation and supporting an Islamic terrorist organization. That's what they're doing. I challenge anybody to contradict this and to say this is wrong. The blockade was put in place because Islamic terrorists called Hamas are in charge here. That's it. And that's the problem. The so-called Freedom Flotilla wants to come and penetrate Israel's borders and help out the terrorists. It's not going to happen. And if they forcibly try to do it, they will forcibly get what they deserve. That's it. If anybody wants to debate this, let me know. Let's see. Greta is Palestinian. She is indeed. She acts like one. Thornithon said, "'Cause Israel is a bullies and trying to take land that's not theirs." Learn English, man. Learn English. Learn English. Apple Baker says, "AP, you stole my dreams. How dare you?" Joe Swanson, "Hope they lock Greta up for a long time." I don't think they will do that, but I would think. I would totally support that. I think what Israel should do is to arrest Greta Thunberg and lock her up. And then when Sweden demands that Israel release her, Israel should then say that that they will only release her if she goes through due process and is prevented from ever approaching Israel again. That's that. Graham von Northern Furfus says, "Didn't this already happen months ago?" Yeah, it did, but they are doing it again because they never learn, because they're stupid. And they work with terrorists. The Flotilla is probably funded by Hamas, by the way. Or has Hamas allegiances, which is why the Flotilla members started throwing their phones into the water to get rid of them. There's documents that prove it's Hamas associated. Yeah, I saw that as well. I haven't checked it out too deeply yet, but it's plausible. Why not? They already work with for the terrorists with all their actions. So it's not a far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched, isn't it? Where is Greta now? Let's see. Where is Greta? Greta Thunberg. Oh, Greta, what happened to you? Captured Hamas documents show it's a psyop. No, it's a PIOP. I'm sorry for misreading it. AP, we need that shirt, please. Thank you. I know I shall put a shirt like this on my store, inshallah. Zachary Galpy, Israel, how dare you stop me from aiding your enemy? How dare you? Big Rig, they'll use her as a Mossad weapon against others after they realize how lethal her annoying is. Yes, indeed. Page said his so produced and scripted. I'm not sure what Page is moaning about here. Look at her frog head. Greta Asberg. Bro, I don't trust him to hunger strike. They'll eat in the bathroom or something. Yeah, that's probably what they will do, man. That's probably what they do. It's probably what they do. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
DR Bales, skunk water. Do you know what that smells like? Big Rig, who's that English medieval boy on the screen? Where? Who? Where? What? I don't know. Oh, this one? That is Mr. Greta Thunberg. Stefan de Peltet, Malaysia PM condemns the Flotilla detention but ignored the peace deal Israel offered. Guess the left media found their diversion topic. They did, indeed. DR Bales, my lord, they doth beat me in the desert here. Thank you. Asa, new profile. Asa, what's up? Gmar Khatima Tova, and I'm humbled by the Flotilla solidarity fasting with those of us observing. Now you have to tell me what Gmar Khatima Tova means. What does that mean? That can't be the whole translation of it, right? May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year. That's probably not literally what it means. Have a good fast. Okay, but I want to know what it literally means because it's literally just 3 words. What is that? It's just 3 words. I want to know what the 3 words mean. Literally a good sealing. I don't think that's what it means. A good final sealing. Okay. May you be sealed for a good year. May you be protected from us. Shut up. All right. I get it. So good fast. Okay, fantastic. To you too, Asa. To you too. My Lack Bay food and travel videos made a super chat. Thank you very, very much. Ramon GTC. Greta is like chickens for KFC. Indeed, she is. As a new profile, 500,000 Christians slaughtered in Uganda last year by Islamists. 500,000? Are you sure it's 500,000? I would say it's I don't really know. I mean, I know that there have been 50,000 killed in Nigeria. I don't know about 500,000 in Uganda. Black Milky, will this help global warming, Greta? It will. It will help global warming. New documents recovered from Gaza have revealed that the flotilla has been sponsored by Hamas all along. I wouldn't doubt it. Noam MKW, I've heard that most, if not all, of these boats run on diesel, so a nice climate activity, Greta. Yeah, very, very nice activity. I feel bad for Greta because her parents should have been better. I don't really blame the parents. I blame Sweden. All of Sweden. Greta wasn't lucky this time, says Elon. She arrived on Yom Kippur when everyone was fasting. No sandwich. This is true. UK resistance. I made a super chat. My parents farmed celery in Gush Katif, Gaza. Literally, roses bloomed in the desert there. I would get the train from Israel into Gaza. It was a beautiful place. They turned a parade into an Islamic cesspool. That's what they do. You know, it was a horrible place before the Zionist movement turned Israel into a blooming, wonderful place. And Gaza was very developed until the Hamas took over and ruined it all. What does anybody guess would happen if tomorrow Israelis completely disappeared? They all just randomly disappeared suddenly. But everything that they built was left. And all the so-called Palestinians went in and started taking over the entire place. They would ruin it. They would turn it into Gaza within a few years. Because they don't know how to do anything. They can't do anything. They don't produce anything. They don't work. They don't do anything at all. They rely on foreign aid. Half the population was unemployed. Half the population was just walking around depending on aid from the world. And the world was feeding them. While some of them were allowed to go and work in Israel, Israel was taking care of all their needs. And what did they do as a result of that? October 7th. As the Israelis approached the boat, Greta stood proudly on the bow and picked up a flare gun and cried, "How flare you!" UK resistance Spanish coast Cyber Neptune buying yachts is Hamas. Powerful. Peace be upon me, says, "Hi AP, you know there were Muslim Nazis were created by Amin Husseini to help the Nazis, Bosnian mostly. Can you explain how did that aliened with Islam? How did that align with Islam?" I had a live stream about that a long time ago, but I'm actually going to... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to make a whole video about that. And when I say I'm going to make a video about that, for those who have been long-time followers, I don't mean that I'm just going to make a video about that sometime in 10 years or so. I'm going to make a video about that within the next 2 months, because I am actually going to Israel this month. Later this month, I will be in Israel for 2 weeks, and we'll be doing lots of projects there. We'll be recording lots of videos, a lot of interviews, short videos, and things like that. And this is going to be one of those projects. I would like to make a professionally arranged video about this project itself. I'm going to do that, inshallah. I promise. Ivan Ness. In Egypt, they would just beat them in the desert. That's true. That's what would happen. They beat me in the desert. AP, you doing fundraising for the trip? I should. Israel just traveling there and doing a bunch of things is going to be very, very expensive. I definitely should. I am just terrible at arranging things like that, but I definitely should do that. That would be nice. I kind of want to go around and ask for some funding from people, but I don't know. It would be nice if Israel could fund it. Contrary to popular belief, Israel doesn't have tons of money to just give around and fund people to make propaganda videos. I wish. I mean, I like doing it, so I would accept their money because I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm not doing it for the money. So I would accept their funding if they offered it, but they won't. All these lies. They say Israel pays you to say this. I wish, man. I wish. Yes. Yeah. To all Jews, have a good Yom Kippur. It's holiday season right now. Lots of holidays coming up. I know. I specifically arranged my trip to be after all the holidays are over. Hey AP, what does Daniel Kikic say about all this? I don't know. He's probably trying to find a child somewhere and talk about how much he wants to marry her. Oh, all right. Let's see. Israel does have all of America's effing funding. America funds like 1% of Israel's income, which Israel then spends back on buying stuff from the American military. Dumbass. Stop repeating memes. Learn something instead. Maybe you might get somewhere in life. Banned for being stupid. Banned for being stupid. That's it. Let's see. Greta should be internationally banned. Yeah, she should have an international ban. That should be internationally banned. Headline: AP is poor and begs Jewish overlords for money. That's a good headline. I might work with that. 4%, but yeah, it goes back to the Yanks. 4%. Really? You mean overall over all the years, or you mean just annually? Pretty sure annually it's lower than that. AP, next time you're in the UK, visit Scotland. I really want to visit Scotland. I wanted to go there last time, but I didn't. Or the last time before last time, but I didn't really have the chance to do that. So, would love to do that. I would love to do that because I want people speaking to me with their Scottish accent, and I don't understand anything. That's what I want. That's what I want to go to Scotland for. Maybe they can also accept me after a while as an authentic native Scottish person, a Scotsman. Because apparently that's if your last name is Khan nowadays and you wear a keffiyeh and you're very, very obviously from Pakistan, you can just be called a Scotsman nowadays. So I've always wanted to be a Scotsman. It's very easy nowadays. Powerful. Ordak, how about your thoughts about the brutal persecution of Persian Zoroastrians by Zealotic Muslim Arabs? What do you want to know about my thoughts? I think I've talked about it quite a lot in the past. It's horrible, and it happened, and it's horrible. Haj Rayyan Al-Ghazlani, I want that Garget t-shirt. I'll put it on my merch store sometime in the future. Enough of this crisis, goblin persona non grata, says Andrew Morgan. Saw an awesome meme of a GoFundMe started by Sweden to pay Mossad to keep her. Ash, what's up? How you doing? Ramadan IDF soldiers, security forces not allowed to eat in front of Arabs. Yom Kippur, Greta gets a sandwich. Too nice. Really? Is that real? Is that true? Is that how it was in the army, Ash? Were you not allowed to eat in front of Muslims as an IDF soldier on Ramadan? Yes, it's true. What the hell, man? That is very funny. I'm not saying what the hell because I'm complaining about this. I'm just it's very interesting, and I noticed this when I went to Israel last time, how there is this going out of your way to show as much respect and understanding as possible to the Arabs and the Muslims, and yet Israel is accused every single day of being the worst in the world and all that. It's just incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. After October 7th, I started seeing headlines or seeing tweets by people saying Israel is hunting down Arabs, literally in front of everyone's eyes. And then I go to Israel and it's literally Arabs everywhere, Arabic everywhere, Arabic music, Islamic call to prayer. It's funny, man. Ash says, when I did security in East Jerusalem, it was a big no-no to eat in the street at all for us. Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice. Trish Prolks, thank you, Trish. This is for your trip, pictures, or it didn't happen. LOL. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you very, very much. Very, very, very much. It's going to be a very big trip. It'll be a huge trip. I will probably be there sometime after the 15th through the end of the month. Going to work with a lot of different people. Go to multiple different places, mainly around Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, but also some important areas that I don't want to announce at the moment. But it's gonna be very, 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 very. It's gonna be very good. So it's gonna be very big. All right. Any updates? Let me see. Any updates? Flotilla. What's with the live cameras now? Huh, did they just intercept them all? What's happening here? These people are just sleeping here. What happened? Did they just leave one boat out there? What is happening? What's going on? Greta Thunberg. They're just having fun. See how horribly they're being treated? See how they're being horribly mistreated? You see, this is literally genocide. It's literally the worst genocide. It's literally genocide, bro. It's literally the worst genocide. Look at this. What a clown show, man. What an absolute clown show. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I shall be back tomorrow if there are any updates. I'll see you all tomorrow. And as always, which means
stay away from Islam.
There you go.